All right. Okay, so we are going to start. Okay, so I'm going to start definite integrals today, which is like almost like indefinite only, just with a little more. What the definite integral definition? Earlier, I gave some idea when I started indefinite itself. In fact, as I said earlier, also without teaching what is definite integral, there is no meaning to indefinite integration. It is not just reverse of differentiation or something like that. I give some examples talking about areas, how you find areas, and all that. I'll discuss all that definition, okay, and we'll discuss some properties and all that. But I think if I teach like that, it'll take 3-4 classes, and there will not be much work, okay. So I'm going to go slightly different way. I'll tell you one simple thing, and then we'll go ahead with that, and I'll give proper explanation after a while. What is that? Let us say integral f of x dx is equal to capital F of x plus c. You know how to do indefinite integration. If I want integral a to b f of x dx, we will write capital F of x, and we'll write from a to b, we don't write with c. And this we'll write it as f of b minus f of b. Okay. Well, that is, we'll find the integral, substitute the upper limit, minus substitute the lower limit. Frankly, first this one came and later on this one came, but now we are doing everything reverse. We are talking about indefinite integral, and then from there it would look like definite integral we are talking about. Actually, it is the other way. Okay, we'll explain all that in detail, okay, in few classes, but right now I just want you to go blindly with this, that to integrate indefinite integration, you do it, plus you write or not doesn't matter, because anyway here it will get cancelled, and substitute the upper limit, substitute the lower limit, subtract the two results, whatever it is we will get. And one more thing, whenever you take something as t while solving this, okay, we have to change the limits also, because these are limits of x. Later on we have to write limits of a. Is am I audible and board is clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, fine. We have to change the limits, or don't change the limits, find the indefinite integration in terms of t and substitute x back, and then put limits of x only, a and b. Okay, as we do questions, you'll get a better clarity. So now just put heading definite integrals, we'll just straightforward, we'll go ahead with the questions, or you can even write this much if you want. If this, then write this one, that's all. Okay, just put heading definite integrals. And write today's state. And write only this one point. I started recording. I'm not recording Zoom now. I'm recording screen recorder I'm using. You can see red dashed lines on the screen that I'm sharing. That is recording on.
Sir, the
board is not clear to you. Check your network. Okay, board is quite clear. All right.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I don't have any network issues as now, and my net is also 300 Mbps is a good speed. Okay, so just wait till you get. Okay, I'm erasing this. Okay, IP what homework and all we'll see later. I'm going to straight away do mains questions first. All right. You also should. I'll do odd numbers and we will do even numbers as homework later on. Every day I don't have to remind of the homework. Till whichever number I finish odd, till that time you can finish even. Okay, that's as simple as that. Okay, very first question. Integral 0 to pi by 2. sin x plus cos x whole square by root over 1 plus sin 2x. If you take only root over 1 plus sin 2x, 1 you can write sin square x plus cos square x plus sin 2x is 2 sin x cos x. That is a perfect square. You will get sin x plus cos x whole square. Actually, it will become mod sin x plus cos x. And you should decide whether sin x plus cos x is positive or negative. But our intervals are only between 0 to 90. Between 0 to 90, it is positive. So I can write sin x plus cos x. Since sin x plus cos x is greater than 0 in 0 to pi by 2. Okay, so 0 to pi by 2. Numerator is sin x plus cos x whole square and denominator is sin x plus cos x. This and this square you can cancel. So we'll get 0 to pi by 2 sin x plus cos x. This normal integral sin x integral is minus cos x integral is sin x 0 to pi by 2. First substitute upper limit, you will get 0 plus 1 minus lower limit minus 1 plus 0, which will be 2. Okay, next we'll try third one. So we have some special formulas here which make some questions easier, but that will come little later. Okay, the beginning questions are all just do indefinite integration and don't worry about definite integral. After that, substitute upper limit and lower limit and subtract the two things. Okay, first question everybody completed? Can I erase or anybody wants more time?
So 1 minute.
Okay.
So done.
Okay. Tejo Prashant, please enter your room number and roll number properly. Coordinator sir is not there. Okay, third question. It is integral 1 by pi to 2 by pi sine 1 by x by x square dx. Obviously, I know I have to take 1 by x as t. Okay, integral 1 by pi to 2 by pi sine of 1 by x into 1 by x square dx. Let 1 by x is equal to t, then minus 1 by x square dx is equal to dt. And not only that, now when x is 1 by pi, the corresponding t, which is 1 by x, will be pi. And when x is 2 by pi, the corresponding t, which is 1 by x, will be pi by 2. So now I have to change the limits also. So these are limits of x. Now I took 1 by x as the limits of t correspondingly are, this becomes reciprocal pi, that this becomes pi by 2. And sine 1 by x will become sine t, and 1 by x square dx will be minus t. Okay, minus sine t integral is cos t with limits pi to pi by 2. When you put pi by 2, it is cos pi by 2 minus cos pi. This is 0, this is minus 1. Okay, this is how we change the limits accordingly. Okay, so this is like indefinite integration only when you can assume something as t and all that, but change the limits accordingly. These are x is changing from 1 by pi to 2 by pi. If I take 1 by x as t, I know minus 1 by x square dx is dt. This 1 by x square dx I can write minus dt. But now whenever x is 1 by pi, what is the corresponding t? Is 1 by x, which is reciprocal of 1 by pi is pi. When x is 2 by pi, t is 1 by x, 1 by 2 by pi will become pi by 2. So this is x value and the corresponding t value is this. When this is the x value, corresponding t value is this. Now everything is converted into t. And after that, just simple integral and substituting upper limit and lower. Dhanush, is it okay? Okay, I'm going to erase the third one. Does anybody need more time? Okay, fifth one now. Obviously, you have to apply by parts. Okay, so integral 0 to 1 x tan inverse x dx. So, you know, we'll take tan inverse x first, and then integral of x is x squared by 2 minus integral x squared by 2 will continue. Derivative of this is 1 by 1 plus x squared. So it's indefinite integration. When you do by part, this is what we'll get. Now only this part already integration is over, so to put these limits, so I'm going to write here 0 to 1. Yes, still integration continues, so you have to write the limits. You should not forget this. Whichever part integration is already over, substitute the limits. Whichever parts integration still there, continue the limits. Okay, so this part when I put 1, I'll get tan inverse 1 into 1 by 2. Minus when I put 0, I'll get 0. Minus this part, how to integrate x square by 1 plus x square? You know, you have to add 1 and subtract 1. So 1 by 2 integral 0 to 1 x square plus 1 minus 1 by x square plus 1 dx. Okay, tan inverse 1 is pi by 4 and this is 1 by 2 minus of integral 0 to 1 1 minus 1 by x square plus 1 dx. Which is pi by 8 1 by 2 into integral is x minus tan inverse x from 0 to when you put 1 it will be 1 minus tan inverse 1 minus when you put 0 it is 0 difference of those two things. You can simplify pi by 2 minus 1 by 2 into 1 minus pi by 4. Pi by 8 plus pi by 8 will get finally pi by 4 minus of. All of you are able to follow comfortably?
Yes, sir.
Hi Ritvik, how you have written IT exam? Integration especially?
Good, sir.
So till some questions is just like revision of indefinite integration only. Okay, till 16 it is like that. After that there are some formulas. Anybody want to give an idea how to do 7th question?
X into e power x is equal to t.
I want to take x e power x as t. Its derivative is not available that nicely. Anybody else want to tell anything else?
We can write x by x plus 1 whole square as 1 by x plus 1 minus 1 by x plus 1 whole square.
Yeah, in the numerator in the place of x I have to add 1 and subtract 1. Okay, and then split it. Then it comes to which formula?
e power x into f of x plus f dash x.
Yes. Correct, fifth one I'm erasing. Does anybody need more time to copy fifth one or to understand? Okay. Okay, 7th one. Integral 0 to 1 x e power x by x plus 1 whole square. Here I can add 1, subtract 1. E power x into x plus 1 minus 1 by x plus 1 whole square. This by this is 1 by x plus 1. You take this by this minus 1 by x plus 1 whole square. It is in the form of e power x into f of x plus f dash x. Integral is e power x into f of x. Integral e power x into f of x plus f dash x dx is equal to e power x f of x plus Using this formula, this will become e power x into 1 by x plus 1 because this is f of x that vector f is 0 to 1. When you put 1, it is e power 1 by 1 plus 1. When you put 0, it is e power 0 by 0 plus 1. It is e by 2 minus 1. Okay, so definite integration is easy. Just substituting upper limit, lower limit. You have to remember your indefinite integration. Those are completed 7. Anybody want to give an idea for 9th question? How to do it? Anybody want to give idea for 9th question? Okay, 7 I'm going to erase. Does anybody need more time?
Divided by sine square x.
Yes, that's very good. Divided sine square x. Okay, 9th question. Integral 0 to 5 by 2. 5 plus 4 cos x. I'm dividing with sine square. Denominator 4 plus 5 cos x. I'm dividing with sine x inside. Zero to 5 by 2. 5 by sine square is 5 cosecant square x and this cosecant and cos. So you get 5 cosecant square x plus 4 cosecant x cot x. Here this by this is 4 cosecant x. This is 5 cot x. You can easily see for this is the derivative. Because cot x derivative is minus cosecant square x, cosecant x derivative is minus cosecant x cot. So let 4 cosecant x plus 5 cot x is equal to t. And differentiate minus 4 cosecant x cot x minus 5 cosecant square x into dx equal to d. And we have to also find the limits. X equal to 0 implies that t is equal to, what is cosecant 0? It is infinity. What about cot 0? That is also infinity. If you want to be infinity and that to positive. Yeah, we can write infinity, nothing wrong. So t will be infinity, that to plus. When you take x is equal to pi by 2, because sine 90 is 1, cosecant 90 is also 1, cot 90 is 0. So we get 4 into 1 plus 5 into 2, which is 4. Okay, so now I want to convert everything into t. When x is 0, t is infinity. And when x is 90, t is 4. And numerator is minus gt based on this. Let it minus com. denominator is t square. And minus dt by t square is integral is 1 by t. Substitute infinity to. When you put 4, it is 1 by 4. And when you put infinity, 1 by infinity is 0. So that's 1. Anybody any doubt in this ninth one? Come explain once again. Very simple. I divided sin square x here, sin square x here. We got like this. Now we know if I take 4 cosecant x plus 5 cot x as t, very nicely numerator is the derivative of that except for minus. Regarding the limit, somebody can have doubt. When x is 90, it is easy. Cosecant 90 is 1, cot 90 is 0. But when x is 0, cosecant 0 is 1 by sin x. 1 by 0 is infinity. Cos x by sin x also will be infinity because denominator is 0. Okay, so when x is 0, t is becoming practically very big number tending to infinity. Okay, so when x is 0, the corresponding t is infinity. When x is 90, the corresponding t is 4. And I wrote everything inner part in terms of t. Minus 1 by t square integral is 1 by t with these limits. When I put upper limit 4, it is 1 by 4. When I put lower limit infinity, 1 by infinity is 0. That's it. Is it okay, Divya?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anybody else has any doubt regarding ninth question? Okay, 11th one. Anybody want to give an idea?
1 plus x power 3 by 4 is equal to.
Yeah, when you take 1 plus x power 3 by 4 as t, that 1 by 4 root of x will be the derivative of that. All right, I'm arranging this. Okay, so integral 1 to 16 dx by 4th root of x 1 plus 4th root of x cubed. So let 1 plus 4th root of x cubed we take. That is 1 plus x power 3 by 4. When I differentiate it, 0 plus 3 by 4 into x power minus 1 by 4. X power n derivative is n into x power n minus 1. That is dt. So 1 by 4th root of x dx is 4 by 3 dt. Next, when x is equal to 1, the corresponding t is 1 plus 4th root of 1 cube, which is 1 plus 1, 2. And when x is 16, t is 1 plus 4th root of 16 cube. 4th root of 16 is 2, so it will be 2 cube. 1 plus 8, which is 9. So when x is 1, the corresponding t is 2. When x is 16, the corresponding t is 9. Dx, this whole thing, that is dx by 4th root of x is 4 by 3 dt. And this is 1 by root. So we got 4 by 3 integral 2 to 9 dt by root t. 4 by 3 into root 1 by root t integral is 2 root t from 2 to 9. 4 by 3 into 2 root 9 minus root, which is 8 by 3 into 3 minus root. Okay, 11th one is clear, or anybody any doubt? If somebody completed 11, you look at 13 and try to give some idea about it. Okay, 11 I'm going to erase. Does anybody need more time?
No, sir.
Okay, this 13th. So now we might have realized one thing. Indefinite integration is easier because you can look at the options and get an idea what to take t. But here options are only numbers, so Okay, you will not be able to make out what to take t. You have to get an idea of it. Okay. So in 13th question, just a small hint I want to give. I have 6x square plus 5x plus 4 in the particular bracket, right? I want this to be derivative of an expression. But normally 6, if you want, I should have x power 6. What's the derivative of x power 6?
6 into x power 5.
Into x power 5.
Similarly, if 5 is there, I think I should have x power 5 so that when I differentiate, I can get 5. Similarly, I should have x power 4 so that when I differentiate, I can get 4. Okay, with this hint, let us see if somebody can tell how to adjust the question. I have 6x square plus 5x plus 4, but I want it to be 6x power 5, 5x power 4, and 4x cubed.
Multiply and divide by x cube.
Okay, for this. But if this is 6x power 5, somewhere x power 6 should be there. I should take t now. Where should I get that x power 6?
X power 24.
Yes. This x power 27, you write x cube plus x power 4, x power 24. The 24, take it inside, we'll get what we need. So minus 1 to 1, x cube into x power 24 into 1 plus x square whole power 6 into 6x square plus 5 plus 4. And this x power 24, I will be writing it as x power 4 whole power 6 so that I can combine these two. This x cube send here, the x power 4 send here, we'll get x power 4 into 1 plus x square whole power 6 into 6x power 5, I'm multiplying these two, plus 5x power 4 plus 4x cubed dx. Now integral minus 1 to 1, x power 4 plus x power 5 plus x power 6 whole power 6, 6x power 4 plus 5x power 4 plus 4x cubed dx. I know if I take this as t, this will be dt, t power 6 will come, integral will be t power 7 by 7. I don't want to take t and change the limits and all that. I'll directly write the answer. I know in my mind if I take this is t, this is dt, t power integral is t power 7 by 7, put t back. It is x power 4 plus x power 5 plus x power 6 whole power 7 by 7. Now substitute the limits. It is not necessary to take t and change the limits accordingly and all. Okay, 1 by 7 common. If I put 1, it is 3 power 7. When I put minus 1 here, 1 minus 1 will cancel. Okay, you can even write 1 plus 1 plus 1 whole power 7 minus 1 minus 1 plus 1 whole power 7, which is 1 by 7 into 3 power 7 minus 1. Okay, so mainly the definite integration part is not, till now all the questions, definite integration doesn't have much of anything here. Indefinite integration only, the ideas that we learned, you should use it. After that, simply putting upper limit, lower limit. If you are taking something as t, you have to change the limits accordingly. That's it. Is it clear, 13? If anybody any doubt regarding 13, please feel free to ask. From here to here, I directly wrote the integral. from here to here, this x power 4 went inside, x power 4 into 1 and all that. If I wanted to take t, it would have become, this is t and this is dt. It would have been integral t power 6 dt. Okay. With if you at all you put 1, lower limit would have been 1, upper limit would have been 3. You can do that way also. Maybe I'll just rewrite that if you want. Okay. If you take this one as t, the question would have changed like this. And t power 6 integral is t power 7 by 7 with limits 1 to 3. Again, you'll get same answer. Okay. So this is t and this whole thing is dt. That's how I got this term. Rohit, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. (15) What is the integral of 1 by t into root 2 square minus 1? Anybody remembers?
Secant inverse.
It is secant inverse x. We have secant inverse t. Okay, 13. I'm going to erase. Does anybody need more time?
Sir, once wait, sir.
Okay, first 2 lines I'm erasing. Okay, 15th question. Integral root 2 to x dt by t into root 2 square minus 1. Integral is secant inverse t directly. Anyway, they gave 5/8. There is no 5. This is secant inverse t with root 2 lower limit. That is secant inverse x minus secant inverse root 2 is 5/8. Secant inverse x. Secant inverse root 2 is cos 45 is 1 by root 2 sin 45. Secant 45 is root 2. So this is 5/4 is equal to 5. Secant inverse x is equal to 5/4 plus 5/4. You can send secant inverse to the other side. X will come secant 5/2 plus 5/4. That is minus cosecant 5/4. So is minus 4. Secant 90 plus theta is cosecant theta with a minus. Okay, so 15 is quite straightforward, nothing. Okay. 15. Anybody any doubt? Straightforward. Everybody completed 15? Okay, now please listen. Frankly speaking, definite integration is much easier than indefinite integration. Why? Is because of the next formulas that we are going to discuss. Some questions which are difficult to integrate, but we have some formulas in definite integration. With that, the questions become simpler. The function what we need to integrate will become very easy. Okay, and in the exams, mostly they ask definite integrals more and indefinite integrals a little less. But doesn't mean it is not important. And there, when IIT was subjective, they used to give very lengthy questions in indefinite integration. But in the present setup where it is objective, the chances are less to ask because of the time problem mainly, nothing else. And they want to cover more questions. But still, you cannot neglect. You should be ready for any kind of an indefinite integration. But definite integration is easier because of mainly there are three formulas. Okay. In fact, some teachers or in some colleges, they call them as Jack's formula, Queen formula, King's formula, JQK. Okay. Just for convenience. For example, let us say a question is there. They want to tell student which formula to use. They simply tell you Jack's formula, use King's formula, something, just to make it easier for the notation. I'm not going to use that notation, but our first formula that we are going to learn is 0 to a, integral 0 to a f of x dx is same as integral 0 to a f of a minus x. If I replace x with a minus x, the integral will not change. Okay, that is this formula. How this formula has come? First of all, before this, we should know one thing, whether I take integral a to b f of t dt, or let me take an example, whether I take sin t dt, or even any example, okay, t square dt, or integral a to b x square dx, or integral a to b y square dy. Will all of them will have same answer or different answer?
Same answer.
Same answer. We write t cube by 3 and you put upper limit b and lower limit a. All of them will give you b cube minus a cube by 3. So whether t is there, x is there, y is there, doesn't matter. So in definite integration, whether you take integral f of x dx, or integral f of y dy, or integral f of t dt, all are same as long as limits are same. In indefinite, they are not same because they look same, but one is x, one is t. X and t, we don't know what is the connection. Okay, but in definite integration doesn't matter. Okay, how this formula came? Okay, you can even write if you want formula 1. There are only three formulas: formula 1, formula 2, formula 3. That's it. Okay, this is a very simple formula. One way to understand this is you take x is equal to a minus t. Then wherever t is there, I can write a minus x, and dx is equal to minus dt. Okay. Now, when x is 0, what is the corresponding t value? A minus 0, which is a. And when x is a, what is the corresponding t value according to this? A minus a, which is 0. Now I want to change this. So I started with LHS, which is integral 0 to a f of x dx. So I want to convert everything into t. So wherever 0 is there, I have to write a. Wherever a is there, I have to write 0. In the place of x, I have to write a minus t, f of a minus t, and dx is minus t. Okay, one important formula, I did not state it, but very simple formula. Whenever you interchange the limits, you will get a minus. Okay, the simple formula, I did not state it. Integral a to b f of x dx is a minus integral b to a f of x. That is a very simple formula. Why? When you integrate this, if you get capital F of x, when you put limits, you'll get capital F of b minus capital F of a. Whereas here we'll get capital F of a minus capital F of b because of the order, one is negative of the other. That's simple. Right? This formula is quite obvious now. Everybody can understand?
Yes.
Okay. So now that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this minus for interchanging these two limits. So I got a to 0, but because of this minus, it becomes 0 to a. And f of a minus t. Whether t is there or x is there doesn't matter. Okay, I'm not going to substitute t as a minus x here. No, wherever t is there, I can write x or I can write y. Anything is okay. So why not x? So 0 to a f of a minus x. Okay, this is not substituting t as a minus x back. No, it is not that. We know whether you take t or x, it is same. That is integral a to b f of x dx is same as integral a to b f of t dt. Based on that, I should have stated these two formulas first. But I don't them formula 1 and I don't call them because they're so simple. If you want, you can write formula 0, formula minus 1 or something. If anybody has any doubt about any part of this, please ask. Okay, please write this and also write those two formulas. Don't forget that. Okay, everybody done? Can I erase or anybody needs more time? All right. I want to give another explanation to this. We discussed right in the beginning, before even starting our indefinite integration. Integral a to b f of x dx means you draw f of x graph between x equal to a and x equal to b. Find area under the curve. That area only we represent like this. Okay, we discussed about this. We'll discuss once again, just reminding of what we discussed in the beginning. So let me see what is the difference between this graph and this graph. I want to draw y equal to f of x graph and y equal to f of a minus x graph. If y equal to f of x is somehow, let us say, a graph like this between 0 to a. Okay. Then the graph of this is same thing but reverse it. Okay, it will be like this, where this is 0, this is 0. Same thing, just mirror image. Like take this piece and reverse it. Oh, why? At 0, whatever value it has, this will have same value at A. Am I right? At 0, let us say it is 7. At A, it will be f of 0, that also will be 7. At 1, whatever value it has, at A minus 1, it will have same value. Because when you put 1, it will be f of 1. When you put A minus 1, A minus A minus 1 will be f of 1. And whatever value it has at A minus 2, this will have same value at 2. Because when you put A minus 2, it is f of A minus 2. Here when you put 2, it is f of A minus 2, both are same. So whatever values it attaining between 0 to A, these also attaining same values, but at 0 it will attain value at A, at 1 it will attain value at A minus 1, and at A minus 2 it will attain value at 2, and at A it will attain at 0. So all these values, first this will come here, next this will come here, next this will come, next this will come, and the last this will come. Now basically reverse this, if you imagine this whole thing is like a metal plate, you just reversed it, but doesn't mean area will change. That's why these are equal. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes.
That's it. I don't want to write anything. Just draw this graph and understand this. This is method 2. Okay, I don't want to extend it. So in the first 16 questions in the mains material, which I uploaded already in WhatsApp group, I done odd numbers. You can try even numbers. Don't neglect, only 8 questions. Complete it by tomorrow itself. We'll discuss tomorrow. Every day, the previous day's homework I'll discuss, then only I'll go further. Otherwise, people are delaying so much. Okay. And today is the starting day, so don't neglect. Every day, if you do that day's homework, it's very easy. And based on this formula, tomorrow we'll see how some questions becomes easier. That will be from 17 onwards. All right. Thank you very much.